Everyone tells you to be open-minded. Teachers say it. Therapists say it. Your one friend who travels once and suddenly becomes a philosopher definitely says it. But what if I told you that the more open-minded you think you are, the easier you are to manipulate? Because openness isn't always about wisdom. Sometimes, it's just an unlocked backdoor. Welcome to the Uncommon Sense. Let's look at the paradox of open-mindedness. Let's start with the paradox. A 2019 study in Personality and Social Psychology Review found that people who score high on openness to experience are more likely to explore new ideas, but also more likely to embrace false, unverified, or conspiratorial beliefs if they seem novel or interesting. In other words, open-minded people aren't more rational. They're just more curious, and curiosity without skepticism is a trap. This doesn't mean open-mindedness is bad. It means unfiltered open-mindedness is dangerous. Because when you're willing to consider everything, you're also willing to consider anything, including the things designed to twist you. Let's look at why open-mindedness is the manipulator's favorite personality type. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Manipulators love open-minded people. They don't want skeptics. They want seekers. A 2014 paper in Judgment and Decision Making found that open-minded individuals are more likely to believe pseudoscience, fringe spiritual claims, conspiracy theories, and alternative facts. Not because they're gullible, but because they value possibility over probability. That's why gateway belief systems work. They start with astrology, then crystals, energy healing, quantum manifestation, and finally, buy my course. The more open you become, the more a charismatic guide can lead you. For example, ever notice why cults don't recruit the stubborn? They target the idealistic, the curious, the question everything types. Because questioning everything without a filter eventually leads to believing anything. Let's now review the open-mindedness trap in politics. Political strategists love open-minded voters. Not the rigidly partisan ones. They're predictable. The gold mine is the "I'm open to both sides" voter. Why? Because openness creates cognitive flexibility, but also attitudinal instability. A 2022 study in political psychology showed that open-minded individuals are more susceptible to targeted persuasion, especially emotional messaging, even if it contradicts their previous beliefs. Here's how it plays out. First, you're open-minded, then you listen to every argument, but you don't have a stable filter. So the strongest emotional message wins, not the most truthful one. This is why political ads focus on fear, identity, and nostalgia, not facts. Open-minded people think they're immune. They're actually the perfect audience. Now let's explore the self-help industry's open-minded victims. The self-help industry is built on weaponized open-mindedness. Step 1. Tell you you're different because you're curious. Step 2. Tell you the mainstream world doesn't understand you. Step 3. Offer a revolutionary new mindset, system, or secret. Step 4. Guide you deeper into a worldview that isolates you from skepticism. Tony Robbins, in the Law of Attraction community, state that even certain startup mindset cultures all rely on open-minded people seeking new answers. None of this is accidental. It's psychological architecture. A 2018 study in psychological science found that people high in openness are more influenced by transformational narratives, stories about reinvention, radical epiphanies, and ideological conversion. Exactly the template most gurus use. Let's now examine the science of over-openness to understand why it happens. There's also a neurological reason. According to neuroscience research, people high in openness have brains that respond more strongly to novelty. Novel equals exciting. Exciting equals reward. Reward equals lower skepticism. This is why open-minded people try weird diets, join unusual communities, read fringe theories, experiment with spiritual trends, and chase life-changing ideas. Novelty feels meaningful. Meaningfulness feels true. But feelings are not filters. So what's the fix? You don't need to close your mind. You need to train it. Here are 3 psychological tools. 1. The probability first rule. Before asking, could this be true? Ask, is this likely given what I already know? 2. The source over idea filter. Don't evaluate the idea first. Evaluate the person saying it. Research consistently shows that trustworthy sources reduce belief in misinformation more than facts themselves. 3. The meaning is not equal to truth check. Just because something feels profound doesn't mean it's correct. Profound statements are often structured to sound deep, not to be accurate. Some studies call this pseudo-profound bullshit. Yes, that is a real term. So, what's the closing twist? Being open-minded isn't a weakness. It's a superpower. But only if you learn how to use it. Otherwise, every influencer, politician, guru, marketer, and conspiracy theorist will use it for you. Openness doesn't make you free. Disciplined openness does. And ironically, the people who believe they're the most open-minded are usually the ones who've never questioned their openness at all. Now that you know the difference, you're not just open-minded, you're dangerous. This is the uncommon sense. Stay sharp. Think deeply. Question wisely.